Hey, it's me. Recently, the next chapter of Dead by Daylight got announced, being revealed to be a sequel chapter. This time not for Resident Evil, but now for another highly requested sequel chapter, Stranger Things. Now, I don't want to open this video in a negative note, but that's unavoidable when talking about this license in recent times, with people behind the scenes and stars of the show being involved with the support of the Israeli genocide of Palestine. This video I want to preface isn't in support of their actions, and the actions they support. Free Palestine. This video is a speculation video to what we will be getting for this chapter, however. If you want a more in-depth video on why this chapter is problematic, even if that word doesn't have the weight it should anymore, go watch Pixelbush's video on the topic. Trust me, he does a better job than I could. So, what are we likely to get in this chapter? Based on teased content, Netflix's previous collaborations, and what the Dead by Daylight community has said in the past, let's speculate. First off, killer options. It's Vecna. There's no debate that the killer we are getting is that of Henry Creel, as seen in the video teaser released on multiple of Dead by Daylight's social medias. But that doesn't end our killer discussion. We still have the question of which Vecna we will be getting. In Season 4 and Season 5, Vecna has two separate designs, different enough to be notable as both could be represented differently in-game through power and perks. Vecna in Season 4 has a simple to adapt power set, but in Season 5, we see Vecna use some new abilities granted to him via his new appearance, such as the first time we've seen his claw hand directly kill a person, as well as be used as a direct ranged weapon. So, which version are we getting? Looking at the teaser, we see just his silhouette in the fog. Difficult to tell which version this is, but funnily enough, the YouTube thumbnail has a clear visual. If you notice, he has a more jagged appearance similar to Season 5, so we are getting this version of Vecna? Probably. Season 4 could be a skin, but we can talk about those later. In terms of power, what could it look like? Well, Vecna's power set is very defined in both series and the stage play, making adapting a power both open and guided by the source material, with Vecna in Season 4 took inspiration from Freddy Krueger and the Cenobites of Hellraiser, so his power could be some hellish combination of them, considering we have both of them in Dead by Daylight. A main chase ability of set of abilities used to make chases easier, while a background pressure ability keeps survivors, and if interactable to the killer, all players occupied. The simple parts I'd hope to see adapted would be telekinesis and maybe an illusion chase power, or at least an add-on that has this ability. In terms of background ability, this is the part that is most likely to be adapted. Vecna's Curse. In Season 4, the story revolves around his use of this ability, tormenting people before killing them using his psychic powers. This could make or break the power. We could get something fun for both sides, or something one-sided that could force Vecna into high or low tier depending on balancing. To finish this section up, what should Vecna be called? Considering we already have his namesake in the game, we need another title to refer to him by. Or we could just say Vecna 2. But don't worry, I've come up with two names. While still a Dungeons & Dragons reference, the Sorcerer fits him well. A line of dialogue from Season 5 compares his powers to one, with his powers being innate rather than from a book of spells like the D&D version we have in-game already. The other name is one I personally prefer, The First. Vecna being numbered 1 in the Hawkins lab experiments, and the reason multiple characters have Mind Flayer powers without being exposed to the Mind Flayer, he's, the first, the original. Even though he's not the original and better Vecna. Last piece of speculation that doesn't matter is an iridescent add-on. Well, the Demogorgon doesn't have one, Vecna has more intelligence to receive one, I guess? My prediction, iridescent Mind Flayer particles. The Russians could contain some, so it's not far-fetched to assume the entity could conjure some. Now we move on to the survivor picks. And now we have multiple characters to speculate. Starting off, one of these two is very likely to be in this upcoming chapter. Hopper and Joyce. Both important characters with multiple looks and appearances, and with Stranger Things and Dead by Daylight already having a good relationship with outfits, it's very likely to see at least one of these in the game, if not both. The other choices I think are more likely than as skins are Robin and Eleven. Eleven is a very important character and has been for a while. Being in collaborations, sometimes even by herself, such as in Fortnite, and her ability set being able to make some interesting perks. Also, having multiple iconic outfits to use makes her a very good candidate. Another choice, which I think is somehow more likely, is Robin. While her being a legendary for Nancy could be cool, I would rather her have multiple appearances to choose from. She's a fan favourite, so it's likely. Now going to characters I could see as their own characters. I don't think they will be more than outfits, though. Quickly taking out 4 options. The Party, otherwise known as Mike, Will, Lucas and Dustin. In the most recent Fortnite collaboration, which included adding Vecna himself, all 4 made an appearance with their Season 5 appearances. I have some suspicion they might add Will as his own survivor, but I don't want that. I don't think anyone really wants that. Another likely skin I could see as their own survivor is Max. The only survivor of Vecna so far, and also a strong character. She could bring interesting outfits with her, but I won't be surprised if she ends up just being a Joyce or Eleven skin. Speaking of an 11 skin, if we get her as a survivor, 8 or Kelly would be an interesting legendary. With her ability set kind of in Dead by Daylight through Mirrored Illusion, I could see it being fun. And finally, the obvious addition to this chapter, Eddie Munson. Now I've seen a few concepts do him as his own survivor. I personally don't see it. He has only 1 appearance, making him easy for a legendary, as well as making him very difficult to have other outfits from the show for him. Also, behavior likes money, and this is just a very easy legendary for Hopper or Steve or male survivor of chapter. Finally, to wrap up, I suppose I should go over Vecna skins. I could see 1 skin, burned or unburned, the one he looked like in the Institute. Another of whatever base appearance we don't use, I mean, that's easy, just whatever appearance we aren't using for the main bun, have it be a skin. I would prefer Season 5 as a skin, but indications show it's going to be the main one, as said previously. We could get an original skin like with Demogorgon, Vecna taking elements of the trial into his own body. Another skin I could see is one referencing the Flayed, the flesh monsters that appeared in Season 3 that, if not a Vecna or Demogorgon skin, could be an amazing Dredge skin. In fact, I think I saw a theory online once that Dredge was a repurposed Flayed model, remade to fit as an original killer. I don't think it's true at all, but it would be a cool addition. And that's it. We'll see next month if any of this is right, so until then, have a nice day, subscribe to see more content, once again, free Palestine. Bye bye.